Wow, that was hectic right now. Sorry about the little mishap that we had about setting it up. My name is Sam. I'm very excited and honored to be here. I'm here to actually launch Kairos mechanical smartwatch hybrid to the world. We've been keeping this a very tight secret, so here it is. I think. It's always being the first one to go and, all these little mishaps. Can we start the... Oh, here we go. Okay, so before I talk about Kairos, I want to briefly run through the categories of wristwatches. So, why do we wear wristwatches? It's a fashion statement. So as you can see, there are various different styles. These are the people who wear them. And according to photos, as you can see, everyone has individual style. They may be more sporty, they may be more classical. So who are these for? From far away, they all look the same to me. So why not a watch for, I guess, the rest of the non-tech adopters? Some numbers. 1.2 billion units of watches are sold each year. 29 million of them is Swiss-made. Average cost is $739. Out of that, 77% is mechanical watches, which is 924 million units. In order for a wristwatch to be successful, you need to have three major things: design appeal, brand appeal, and monetary value. Design, as you can see, we have some comparison. HYT is a $100,000 watch, but it looks very nice. We've got Pebble in the middle. We've got our watch in the right. So brand, it's not really all about heritage. It's also about what statement are you making. Breitling, it's all about aviation, have a success image. Samsung, well, known for TVs, freezers, and whatnot, smartphones, yes. With Kairos, it's more about early adopters who also know style and class. And monetary value. A watch is also a luxury item. It's not just a thing that tells time. It has to have, how much is your watch? How much for women, I guess, how much is your handbag? But when you see a $95,000 watch, or even a $5,000 watch versus a metal, most of the all electronic-based watches are $99 or $200 and whatnot. It can't carry that weight value, monetary value. So here's what we're all about. What we do is we have created a watch with all the mechanical components, but included a transparent display system, so it turns into a smartwatch. Here are some photos. There's various functions, controllers, control your music, control your camera, your emails, push alerts, all of that will work. These are three different designs. This is another design, but this is actually using a Swiss movement rather than a Japanese Miyota movement that we had before. And this is a break apart section of showing how our unit is going to be made with. So you got the crystal sapphire, you got the touch sensor, and the transparent display. You got an all mechanical, full mechanical unit. Doesn't need any power, just move around and it'll power it. You got the PCB powering all the components. We have already filed the US and EU patent on this. Now, a lot of people say, okay, isn't this easy to copy? Well, I'm sure it is. I'm sure people will copy it one way or another. But our target is not for, selling all Kairos. Our target is also to supply the components to other brands. And I'm talking about Swiss brands, and they cannot go around the patents once this is approved. This is the patent drawing. Some display. So we have on the left, that's the off position. That's how it is when there's no power going through. As you can see, it's about 40 to 50% transparent. On the right, it's basically when it's turned on. I mean, it's not great as a full OLED display like the Samsung uses, but it still shows, displays information. Some hardware component, that's just a simple sample image. Firmware, we're going to be building our own. We've already started it. But as you know, a few weeks ago, Android came out with the Android Wear firmware, so we're actually trying to build our unit to be compatible. So mechanical specs, 46, it's a pretty large watch. It's like the same size as a Chopard. This particular Kairos is actually more than just design and electrical components and software. It also has to do with mechanical, I guess, outline. As you can see, it's very complex to put in all those components into a very acceptable height, which is 16.5 millimeters. So the story of how we all got started, it's been a long process, but a very fun process so far. So this is the timeline. We're actually starting a pre-order next week. And the first production will begin in September. And the first delivery will be in December. There's a lot of talk about how big the smartwatch is going to be. And this is just one example. Accenture said 46% expressed interest in purchasing a smartwatch. These are the two products that we have. These are the people that we have. So we have myself. I'm actually a .com entrepreneur veteran. Ken is actually from a Fortune 500 company. I'm working as a CFO. Kyo Young-jin is our CTO. He's got backgrounds in Samsung and LG. Gabriel is our firmware guy, and he's actually done a lot of work for the Spain military, very heavy into security. We have some seed investors, very, very pre-seeded level. Our exit strategy is to not go for Samsung or Google or Apple, where our target is really the watch groups, the LVMH, the Swatch Group, Richemont. They're a little bit worried about losing the market share right now. And the reason is, even at 1% market penetration, the smartwatch smartwatch penetration is about 290,000 units. At an average price of $739, that is $214 million. So that's our strategy. Thank you.
Sam, thanks. We have 4 minutes. Since we have 10 presenters, we're going to try to keep it as tight as possible. Thanks, Volker.
Yeah, so my question for you is, you mentioned the exit strategy pretty quickly in the presentation. Are you basically building this product to sell it to that particular company? Or are you looking to build your own brand? And if so, that's going to cost $1 billion upward in marketing expenditures. Pebble had the early advantage, right, of being out early, and people know Pebble as a smartwatch, and everybody else who's coming later now, aside from the iWatch from Apple, once that's coming out, is going to have a harder time. So what is your plan there?
Well, our revenue stream, we have two revenue streams. One is obviously the sale of Kairos watches, the brand itself. The second is once we have established a foothold and this technology is all ironed out, then we plan to be an OEM supplier to some of these brands. We already have on board on our team as advisors very high-level ranking executives from the Swiss Watch Group, not Swatch, just want to clarify. For confidential reasons, I can't really name who they are, but we've been talking with them so far, and they absolutely love what we're doing because this is a solution for not only them, but also the traditional watch retailers to compete with whatever, because as more and more customers get convenient to the smartwatch functions, then they may end up having to switch from Tissot to smartwatch. So this is their solution that they can provide as like an Omega smartwatch powered by Kairos, and hopefully later on we get acquired by them.
Related to that, who of you in the team actually has really branding experience?
We have a partner which is not listed on there. She is the senior executive at a very large corporate fashion industry company. I really wish I can state the name right now. Maybe I can state that a little afterwards. A little bit of confidential reasons.
One last question.
It's an interesting idea, but you are not the first company I saw trying this route.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I think this is an interesting idea, but you are not the first company I saw trying this route. I understand the current technology, the size of the electronic unit is still too bulky to fit into a dedicated mechanical timepiece. Are you ready on that front?
Yes, the display is 1.1 millimeters thick, including the touch sensor. Now the PCB, our unit is circular, is 36 in diameters and 3 millimeters. The reason why we're able to fit all that into 16.5 millimeters is the battery, and we filed a design patent on it. The battery actually hugs the mechanical movement around like a donut shape. That actually provided space saving, including all those movements and stuff like that.
Oh, I see. You are moving the battery out of the mechanical piece.
Right.
So
We're wrapping the components around, and that actually, we had a lot of trouble finding out a solution, but we found it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Sam. Big round of applause for Kairos watches. Very ambitious and quite interesting.